don't know if it's recording already.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, first of all, thanks everyone for joining, and Happy New Year's to everyone that celebrates it. And I hope you enjoy a lot with your family and with all your loved ones. I'm actually just gonna take the
green screen off.
Yeah, the screen off,
I think we
because
have to get like the same depth through it.
yeah, probably. I don't know what's going on. It's not working properly. 1 second. Let me just do that.
Keeping the technical difficulty streak at the start alive. little smaller though, at least.
All right. There you go. Okay, now we can get started, I guess. Yeah, so again, welcome everyone. Welcome to this all hands meeting. I think this is the third or fourth?
Third,
yeah,
formal one, I think.
The third all hands meeting, and we want to do this on a monthly basis in order to update the whole team. As you know, this is an organization that is very fluid. There's people coming and going. And yeah, we just want to bring everyone to the same table and update everyone with all the things that are going on. So yeah, let's get started.
Yeah, so to organize the meeting, we have it kind of broken in this flow. Well, we'll start by kind of re-emphasizing why we're here, what the mission is, what the vision is, what the problem we're solving together is, then going into more of what we're building, where we're going forward, the platform itself, and the solution that we see to creating, then more about how we're going to get there. So again, kind of re-emphasizing what our culture is, what our values, and sharing that to everyone. And the bulk of the meeting being about the progress to date, the recent updates, all the amazing work that all the teams have done in the last month since the last one. Especially the last month was a major step for us. So, and then end of course with Q&A. I'll say here too that like we intend this to be completely free flowing, and you'll see that's kind of why we have a lot of people talking on different slides, and it's meant to call people in to talk or add their points too. This isn't meant to be like a presentation. So if there's questions, like don't hold off sometimes to interrupt, to ask, and let's treat this more as a meeting, talking together more so than like a presentation, sit back and listen. But we will have a specific time at the end as well for Q&A. So starting again with why we're here.
Yeah, so our vision is to create an interconnected community of humans that are doing good.
Little hint there. Next, we have the mission being to empower humanity by providing an environment where communities anywhere in the world can collaborate, support one another, become self-owned, self-governed, and self-sustained for the purpose of doing good. And we want to iterate on this just because a lot of people have been asking us about the name FightPandemics. And yeah, so next here, many of you that have been involved frequently in the stand-ups have kind of heard this thought of renaming, and we're at that point, and that's kind of where we revisited the vision and mission there. If you have a critical eye, you might notice it's a little bit more expanded than the past, but it's for that purpose, is that we do want to transcend past the pandemic. And through these last 9 months of starting, we've seen there's a much bigger impact that can be made, and that's kind of why the vision's expanded a bit to what we can do on a larger scale with the platform. And we're going to rename to Doing Good to achieve that. And I'll emphasize the part of renaming rather than rebranding, because we do like the logo, we do like the colors. This is going to be a simpler transition of just renaming the platform and where FightPandemics is used to Doing Good rather than completely starting scratch on the brand. Wendy, talk us through.
Thank you. So what problem are we going to solve with doing good? Here's what we believe. We know that humans innately want to help each other. They are social and they want to be connected to each other. And seemingly that willingness is unbounded. And yet, all of the things in the world only let us take advantage of a fraction of people's willingness to do good. Only a portion of it is recognized and mobilized and then delivered to people who want or need it. Now, why is that? It's barriers. And there are a bunch of barriers out there that slow us down or keep us from being able to act on the stuff we want to act on and doing good. What do those barriers look like? Well, one of the first solutions would be we just go to the nonprofit sector. And we know that the nonprofit sector is very good at mobilizing a small fraction of people who want to do good. Some statistics put it 25% in the US, for instance, with a large marketplace. And the nonprofit sector includes things like charities and religious institutions. And they do great work at it, but again, it's only a fraction. Another way that people express their doing good is through the for-profit sector. And that for-profit sector also has some barriers to it. One is it's dominated by the intermediaries, whom we know very well. And the size of those intermediaries and their power scares people off. They have vested capital ownership structures, meaning a small number of people hold a large part of the stock, the shares, and it's owned by the public. They have vested political interests. They have vested economic interests. And in fact, these giant platforms weren't set up. They weren't set up to serve people who just want to do good in the many ways they can. So what's the impact of these barriers? The social and well-being is lower than it should be. Excuse me. There's still a lack of food in the right places. There's even a lack of vaccines in the right places. PPE is still a problem. People are lonely in their homes, even though there's lots of people who want to reach out to them. So what we see from the impact of the barriers is social and well-being is underperforming, if you will, because of this avoidable suffering. This suffering is avoidable. There's creative impact to these barriers, and that's a loss of opportunities to collaborate and a loss or a slowdown in the pace of innovation. When we can't connect with each other directly, everything starts to slow down because the intermediaries get in the way for us. And the third impact is economic. These intermediaries get in the way and extract basically whatever fee structure they want. We can't always predict it, and it can change without our control. There's an unfair distribution of the value that's generated, meaning those intermediaries tend to take probably more than their share, of which many creators, artists, for instance, may believe. And finally, there's the issue of our data. The intermediaries take ownership of and then have the opportunity to exploit our photos, our messages, our relationships with each other. So there's a very real cost to us for these barriers to doing good. And we just need to somehow do better. So what is the opportunity? The opportunity is to create, there should be a social, a creative and economic platform that allows us to take advantage of these huge markets. There's just two pieces of data on the slide, one US and one UK, that shows just two data points on how big could the market be in the US. And they're conservative figures, but even if we say this is, I don't know, 1/10, 1/100th of what's available, you know, for me, anything that begins with a B is pretty big. What should this platform look like? It should be tech enabled with the latest technology. It should be purpose built so that there aren't inefficiencies in just trying to give away your help or support or collaboration. And it should be easy to access for anybody without lots of complications and getting through pages and sheets and clicks that just have nothing to do with connecting with other people and doing good. The last thing I want to say here is that
Sorry, Wendy, I have a quick question.
Oh, yes.
These figures represent, I'm assuming, the total number of hours in volunteering work or impact related work, if you could highlight.
You bet. Thank you for that. Thank you for asking. These ones in particular come from AmeriCorps and the Office of National Statistics, AmeriCorps in the US Office of National Statistics, and it represents only the organized or formal voluntary sector. And the idea is, generally speaking, when they run their models, one of the models they do just for the formal voluntary sector is collect the number of hours, and then they assume a per hour value for each of those voluntary hours. So, you know, I don't know that you were asking this question, but we know that there's the formal voluntary sector, there's the informal voluntary sector, and then there's all sorts of just helping neighbors and mutual aid groups that have popped up during COVID. There are all sorts of other channels, informal channels, that probably put this at 1/10 the number it could be measured at, and maybe more. Is that responsive?
Definitely. Thank you. Yeah, just to highlight
Cool.
that this is just a fraction of the, the global opportunity at hand. So thank you.
Fair point. Thank you for bringing that up.
And also check out the years, 2017 and 2013.
Yeah.
So imagine what it was in 2020 and what it could be in 2021.
Yeah, 21 and 22 probably look a lot better than 2020, to your point. The only thing I want to add here is, so we know people want to connect and people want to collaborate. And the only thing I want to add here is that the value that's generated through data and through transaction fees, there has to be a way to allow us to retain control over that. Manu, what do we need to know next?
Yeah, why now? Well, I'm sure that you guys have heard that I've said multiple times that we are becoming a world that is more and more transparent, and we want to come together and achieve goals that are beyond ourselves. And we have seen that the UN also has indicated that they have 17 goals that they want to achieve by 2030. And with the current pace, it seems that it's not going to be possible to achieve those goals if we don't accelerate and if we don't come together and collaborate. So yeah, there's a trend that we're seeing, and it's that everyone is trying to align their let's say way of engaging with their communities and with their clients, or with let's say with the people that are around their organization, towards solving these SDGs that are called. Another thing that is happening is that we currently have the technology that enable us to collaborate. And this is a quote that we took from the Graph, who is the Google of blockchain. And it says that we are at the beginning of a revolution in how humans cooperate and organize on the internet. The crypto industry is redefining the future of work and play, and empowering individuals to contribute their talents to a global economy with fair and transparent rules. I was going to say values, but it's rules actually. And so where are we going?
Yeah, so how do we address that problem? How do we go after that opportunity? And this is why we're here. This is what we're building. This is where we're going. The solution that we see is the first social platform fully focused on doing good, designed for the benefit of purpose-driven individuals and organizations, that empowers individuals and communities to become self-owned, self-sustained, and self-governed. So you'll see much of that kind of ties back into what the mission is what we're building. And what does that mean for the platform itself? Well, it's these groups of features that we've talked about. So we know the help board, that's been our bread and butter. That's kind of the epicenter of enabling individuals and organizations to match and exchange help and resources. Any need, anywhere, anytime. So we have that basis already created, which is amazing. That was built completely with volunteering, completely as a community to build such a social platform like that is amazing.
Which is open source.
Which is open source. So like already amazing piece. Now the other two pieces that we're working towards and you'll see in the roadmap is a marketplace that empowers creators and social organizations to sell merchandise, digital art, exclusive access to the humanitarian community. So this is kind of one of the newer pieces that wasn't necessarily talked about at the very beginning. But as we kind of explain, it fits this bigger vision that we see and enables the whole platform to sustain. And we'll talk about that coming up. And then the organization management tools that provide organizations with the tools that they need to effectively manage their processes. So specifically donations, how to manage their members, how to handle governance and voting. So that's the piece that's critical for them to be self-owned and self-governed, is that they have these tools available to them. Go ahead.
Yeah, so to come back to what Andrew was saying, the marketplace, this is the new part. And this is what I want to explain you. So initially we thought, as you know, we created the help board. So we thought that organizations and humans, they were gonna come to the help board and offer and request help. And what we have identified is that it's been very difficult to onboard them because they think that we're not gonna last. And the second thing is that they think that we're only focused on pandemics. So that's why we're doing the rebranding, or not the rebranding, renaming. And on top of that, we're adding a marketplace. And the marketplace, what it's going to do is that it's going to have creators that come and sell their content or subscriptions. And what's going to happen is that humans are going to come into the marketplace, buy from those creators, and there's going to be a service fee of 5% that goes to doing good in order to sustain our organization. And then 5% will go, minimum 5% will go to a social organization that the creators chooses. And this is kind of like a way for creators to stream money to organizations that they care about. Another thing that we have realized while we were talking to multiple mutual aid groups is that most of them are ran by creators or by artists. Yeah. And it's crazy that we don't have the tools for these two type of communities to come together. But with what we're planning to do, we can enable that, we can accelerate that. And another important thing to mention is that most of the platforms, they charge from 40 to 10%, of, like all the platforms like YouTube, Substack, and all of those, they actually extract a lot of value from the creators. So what we want is to give more power to the creators so they can choose the organizations that they care about and stream some money to them. At the same time, the social organizations are going to be able to sell products or services to humans. And this one, you already know it, the help board. So here, what are the unique value propositions? So for the social organizations, well, they're gonna have a major boost of exposure, and also are going to have everything in one place. They're gonna be able to manage their volunteers, manage their recruitment, the communication. They're gonna be able to also request or offer help and fundraise as well. For the creators, they're going to have lower fees than in any other marketplace, and also they will be supporting social causes. For humans, they will be supporting their favorite creators, and as well, streaming some money to the social organizations through the creators. And at the same time, they're going to be able to have more transparency, as they will be able to see where the money goes in all these different social organizations. And the key ingredient is doing good as part of a decentralized autonomous organization. And basically the governance and the value generation is going to be shared through the community. And it's not going to be a centralized organization that is going to be just extracting value from all of the different participants, but actually creating value.
Exactly. That's that sweet spot that we had the line going to doing good, is that there needs to be some value to the organization to sustain, to support the platform, to continue operating. But usually there's a centralized group, Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, these organizations that are taking more like 20% or 40%. So that's kind of this secret ingredient, as we say, that all of the value that gets generated stays within this ecosystem of doing good, social organizations, creators that care about social organizations, and our community, the Doing Good platform, helping support all of them. Yeah, so next we have how we're going to get there. So more about how we work at FightPandemics, especially for those that are a little newer and haven't seen it, but this is basically what's kind of grown from all of the volunteers here today and how we work and what's working best. So we call it the Amor way. I think we'll pass it to Ale.
Thank you. So hello, everyone. If you've been around in the past months, you may have heard the word amor in the channels or in meetings, or maybe you are just joining this week and have seen a video of our previous all hands meeting and you're trying to discover what it's all about. So amor equals love in Spanish. And we believe love is a force that keeps the universe in movement and unifies all its elements regardless time and space. Also, we feel this amor is very close to our hearts, and we believe that it encompasses our feelings towards our community. Thus, we created a narrative around it that makes our community even more unique, and a great shout out to all the volunteers, or sparks, as you will see now, that co-created this amazing universe. I'll pass it to Caro.
Thank you, Ale. So it was natural to us that this narrative could be placed in a sonnet to summarize how we started and where we're going. So here it goes. So it's the Amor universe. Go ahead, Ale.
Okay. In a galaxy very close to our hearts, a gesture of kindness. Ale. Sorry. Okay, I'll start again. I'm sorry. In a galaxy very close to our hearts, a gesture of kindness ignited a spark. It grew and grew in intensity and light to reach out to others and help them to shine.
One became many, creating together a movement of energy that could last forever. Uniting their forces and learning to thrive, Amor was brought to life. With trust and purpose, Amor evolved. The protostar stars and north stars arose. At once, the comets, nebulas, and satellites got involved.
Amor became stronger together and inspired, connecting humans with the force of love, shaping the present for a better future world.
Thank you.
Love it.
And I guess that brings us to our values, which are directly tied to what Ale just talked about, which is the Amor universe. So first, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Brigitte Fontaine, for those who don't know me, and I'm helping with internal communications. So those values that you're going to see here are not new. However, we've refined them to make them more actionable. And you will see that to each value corresponds now a maxim, what we call a maxim in orange, which ties directly into the Amor universe that Ali just talked about. So I'm going to go through each maxim and explain what they mean. The first one, we start with a spark and carry it all the way. And you'll see that we have the universe and the spark theme all throughout. But so we like to call our organization a duocracy, meaning that we just do things, right? And what we mean by that is that we don't ask for permission to take initiatives. And when we start something, we bring it to completion. However, we don't do that in a bubble. We propose our ideas to the team. We listen to their feedback. We then make sure that we enlist the help of those who have already the expertise or the experience in that particular area. And once agreed upon, then we own it and we just get the job done, right? That's the key part here. We get the job done. The next maxim, we breathe amor in everything we do. So you've just had like a summary of what amor is about. And it's really about positivity, right? So it's only with a positive attitude that we can achieve great things. So staying positive helps us see solutions to problems that may actually at first seem unsurmountable, right? But talking them through with our team, offering possible options and solutions that we think that we can then implement is how we want to do it, right? And very importantly, we should not forget to thank others for a job well done or for just helping out. Next slide, yeah. Next maxim is we gravitate to co-create. It's about collaboration, right? It's by, you see here 1 + 1 = 3, meaning that the sum is bigger than its parts. And what it means is that we really put all our collective intelligence and our minds together to build upon new and even existing ideas so we can achieve our goals. We don't reinvent the wheel, but we build, as I said, upon existing work, right? So that's that idea of all working together for the greater good. And finally, the last one about communication, which is we shine together. So we always have to be very mindful of communicating clearly, honestly, respectfully, and again, over and over again. There is no such thing as over communication, right? That's why it's very important to document everything we do, all the progress that we do. Like this is why we're recording this all hands meeting. You know, that's going to be on YouTube later, so we can review that if we have missed or if we need to have some clarification of some sorts. So it's also very important to get feedback and solicit feedback, and give feedback as well. So give it and receive it. And, you know, most of us have come here to volunteer, or a lot of us, to actually learn as well as contribute, right? Learn and grow. And we can't do that if we don't receive feedback and if we're not receptive to the feedback. It doesn't, of course, it means that people who give feedback have to give it in a very respectful and constructive manner, right? And you know, if we do that, then I think that, you know, it's going to be a lot easier to be comfortable in the culture that that we're creating now. So I'm done with, you know, going through the values, but I want to say something that that we're continuing to refining these values because, you know, we want to set the do's and don'ts, you know, what it means in specifically, and put everything into like a Notion page where people will have, you know, readily access to them. But what I want to say is that those are not the maxims and the values that you see here. They're not just words on paper. They are guiding lines that that we need to live up to, right? So that means that all of us, in everything we do and we say in the context of doing good and this organization, we need to ask ourselves, right? Am I being positive? Have I completed this project? You know, am I involving the team and the right people to complete that project? Did I document this initiative? Right, all those things are very important and are things that we can easily do to feel, you know, to create this culture where we all feel comfortable. And one thing that you can start doing today, actually, is you can start, you know, when you thank somebody on the thank you channel, you can start to tie your comments to these maxims, right? So I'm going to give you an example. For example, I want to thank you, Ali, for coming up with all these ideas, 1 million ideas an hour, and executing on them, right? I think you embody positivity and democracy. So that's an example of, and I mean it, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, but that's an example where you're really thanking somebody for doing something, and then you can tie it directly to what she embodies, which she really embodies our values there, right? And so and all of us, most of us do, and let's make sure that we say it.
That's so well said, Brigitte. And if I can give another example, it would be, for you and the duocracy, and starting with the spark and carrying it all the way through, because Brigitte had recognized that we weren't doing a good job of communicating our values, that we have these, but we haven't been communicating it. And Brigitte helped us divide a plan, put in some actions, and here we are executing on them. So it's
Yeah,
exactly that. And
thank you.
Yeah.
And I just want to add that we're also all working. And when I say all, by the way, I mean, obviously we're open to feedback, but I want to call out, like the core team. If you have any questions regarding those, please reach out to either Manu, Andrew, Wendy, Yegor, Ale, or myself. And, we'll be more than happy to help. We're working on a communication plan to make sure that they become really pervasive, across everything we do.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Brigitte. That was amazing. And really, this is super aligned with our principles. So the first one, contribute to a greater purpose. In other words, make our world a better place. Then provide an environment to gain experience and skills, like super aligned to the values. And this community is made of brilliant minds with so many talents, so many skills, and you will be learning so much every day from everyone. And the third one, gather a diverse and altruistic community. And basically it means that you now have more than 1,000 new friends from all over the world, one Slack or Zoom away, that share the same values and also want to do good. And now to better explain and in a nutshell what we were all talking about. So you've heard a little bit in the sonnet that our community has these special names for the different roles. So it made sense to us that volunteers start as sparks as they bring a burst of energy and light to our community. Then comes the project and squad coordinators, that they are known as protostars, that shine even stronger so their light guides the new sparks in their way. The department coordinators, they shine as stars inside Amor. Stars provide a gravitational center for all of those here in Amor. The North Stars provide direction to reach the ultimate destination. So these are going to be our stewards, and they continue to coordinate projects and are responsible for the Recognition Amor program. And this can't be complete without the mentors, that for us is the nebula, because mentors are the nebula of our universe as they spread their knowledge and wisdom like stellar dust to flicker our minds. Then we have the ambassadors that we're calling comets, that they illuminate the galaxy, sharing with others what we do in our community. And our supporters, of course, that we call satellites, because they orbit around to support our community's efforts with information, resources, and connections, so we can develop our purpose very smoothly. And of course, all of those are from and for humans that have Amor inside, that spreads as wide as the universe and is the force that keeps us all moving. And with that, I will pass it on to Caro so she can show us a little video.
Thank you, Ale. So before the video, okay. So we create this whole universe. So we want to show this video that we couldn't make it with Sherry Wong help. And in this, we can we show how all the elements get involved in this Amor universe. Okay, now we can play.
Come. Beautiful. Thank you, Karam. Yeah, no, it's just a good example of co-creation on that piece too, the whole program and that piece to help explain it. Very good. And to put a little bit more specifics around what goes on within Amor is we have this program for points, and this is to recognize all the community members for every hour that they're putting into the organization, to make sure that everything is recognized and everybody sees that what they're doing gets noticed. So what we've devised is this plan to contribute points for every hour that's contributed, and also add impact to each hour as well, based on a couple dimensions that even make the hours extremely more valuable. Not one of those being the community roles, like we just went through. Another being the expertise, so how long people have or how much background or experience people have in different areas, and then also the service time. So the longer that you're with FightPandemics or with Doing Good, here I am still saying FightPandemics, that'll be there for a while. But also the time that you're with the organization is like the longer people stick, the more impact that has to the contribution. So just every hour is super important, and that's why we want to make sure it gets recognized with some sort of points, and also impacting those for progression as well. Additionally, we have badges, as you've seen come through with Fight It Peter on the channels. And this is a way to specifically recognize contributions and milestones along the way as well. So there's the points that are just for every hour gets recognized, and you'll have something fun to see that grow, but also badges that are specific to creating tasks down the road, or completing major projects, features, designs, specific work as such, and also milestones such as length of time with the organization, or other fun badges like the Christmas volunteers, the Bitcoin helpers. So when we have major initiatives like we had with Gitcoin, we can create fun badges like that. So we've started this process. We go to the next slide. Jaeger here is our hustler on getting these out there to start. So
yeah, and currently we are distributing badges on the Notion inside of Team Directory, and this is our beta version of distributing them. In the nearest future, we are going to you are going to see them on your profile on FightPandemics.com currently. Yeah, and they gonna play a role not just of the image that you have, but those will be the virtual badges that you own, and you can show them to your future employers as a diploma, as a certificate.
Exactly. Thank you. I forgot to mention that at the beginning, is that's kind of the way the world is moving towards displaying accomplishments, is having a certificate, badge. The NFT space, if we talk about what enables that, is the future of demonstrating skills or completed work in the past. So we're kind of seeing ourselves on the front end of moving that way. So many of those in the Web3 and the NFT team, badge bounty creation teams know the further vision of where this is, and Jaeger's leading us in the first stage here. So how are we able to recognize the points and the badges is through the weekly submission. And that's trying to be as simple as possible to be able to recognize everything's done. So that's why it's tried to minimize into the easiest way to capture that is just having submitting how much hours roughly as best you can estimate for the week, with the list of tasks that you worked on for yourself to kind of keep track of what's going on. And then a coordinator who would be able to vouch for it. So intended to be super simple, and yeah, it's the easy way we see at this point of being able to recognize all the work that's being done. Next, we have the water cooler stand-ups. So it's a different name change in the title you'll see there. Ale, you want to talk to us about?
Sure. Thank you, Andrew. So you may also have seen or maybe already joined one of our stand-up meetings or all of them, where we share updates. And a week ago, we decided to send a survey to hear your thoughts about it. And so now it's being shaped more to give more emphasis on being the place to meet everyone, to help volunteers join the right teams. If you have some questions, if you need to connect, it's gonna be but it's gonna be more the go-to place where we can all see our faces as well, because we are probably all at home. So this is a moment where we meet. Also to share the major updates and really have fun as well, because we're gonna do some activities there every now and then. I don't know if there's anything else, maybe Andy.
I think you touched on the main pieces. Like we want to just make it much more free flowing and open, and really emphasizing, like you said there, that it's meant to be this, like, we're a global team from all over the world, and we want to get to know each other and build this community. So we want it to feel more open as far as like coming and trying to clear something that you're waiting on, whether it's something that I need to do for someone and I missed it, or Manu or anyone else, or if you have a question, like, try to use this time to do that, and less just about reading updates, because we know we can still update each other, not necessarily in the meeting, and that's still super important. And that's why we still highly encourage using the Daily Geek Pot to share progress, and that'll still be part of that communication value that we have on the importance of documenting and keeping everyone up to date. And we'll still have that flow of updates on the notes for the stand-up, but the meeting itself will be much more open, I'll say.
Oh, and to add to that, just so everybody knows, the meeting happens every day at 6 p.m. GMT, 7 p.m. CET, and 1 p.m. EST. But you can transform it to your
same time you join this all hands.
Same time, yep. And it's on the general Notion calendar too. We've talked about maybe looking at the timing of it and opening it up, but yep.
And so we call all this Amor universe, because Amor is the force that keeps the universe in movement, and it transforms everything in its paths. When shared, it always grows and never stop moving. So this is just the beginning, and welcome everybody to the Amor universe.
Thank you. Yes, so we've covered, I guess, why we're here, where we're going, how we work, and now the fun piece is looking at all the progress to date and kind of getting up to speed with where we're going in the now. So quickly back to the very beginning for anyone that's new, but FightPandemics was born in March of 2020. End of March. Quickly grew with volunteers to having a platform live online in June. And then the major...
It didn't have that many features, but it had only like the very, very basic one for people to post offers and requests, but we were not able to close the loop until the end of December.
So that was the major launch with the summit event around it in December. And that gets us more to the most recent. Recommend watching the previous all hands, most probably have to hear more of the story at the beginning. And yeah, so that here we have the live platform, and the major launch with all those features Manu mentioned happened in December. And you can see the site live. There's just the screenshot of it, which was accompanied by an awesome event, an awesome summit, the Stronger Together Summit, we titled it, with 256 attendees. I think Paloma and Emmanuel kind of leading the events team may talk about that a bit more and where that's leading going forward, but really successful event, went smoothly, well organized, and learning from it going forward. So,
and we still have 19,000 tickets for new summits. So we're going to continue doing that. And Paloma is going to talk a little bit more about it in a few minutes. And also we were part of the Gitcoin grant round, the 8th. And we were the community that received the most amount of contributions within the Pambala League. We got over 74 people that contributed with the PAN token, which was a token that we airdropped to our own community for them to participate, or for you guys to participate and learn how blockchain works and how we can interact with this new type of cryptocurrencies. And we turned $2,500 into over $5,900 until today. And we have the potential of raising to 10,000 to 20,000 with the Pambala matching. And we were the community with the most amount of donation. We are the community that is going to have the highest inflation allocated to us. And basically we're growing our treasury. We started with nothing, and we already have, we're going to probably end up with more than 10 or 20K, hopefully. And yeah, and we actually got 150 contributors in total, and 74 came from our community. So communities outside FightPandemics contributed to the Gitcoin grant, which is really, really good to see that. And we also got invited next week to present the whole plan for the DAO that we're going to be creating and so on. And yeah, we're going to be part of the DAO Rush Week next week. And yeah, and also other achievements that we have accomplished is that we won the IBM Challenge. We have received over $500,000 in software. We think that we have received around 60,000 hours, which has an estimated value of over $2 million. And all of this has been done with you, with the community, and with everyone that's been just putting time and effort into developing this. And yeah, those are like the major achievements. Now, the product roadmap, Dhruv and Dohi.
Hey, I can, Dohi, you want to do the first half and I can do the second half?
Sure. I'll talk about what we've achieved so far. As Andrew mentioned, our bread and butter is the help board. And so up till December, we've been focusing on building out the help board and everything that surrounds that product. So we were able to successfully launch quite a few products before December, including the avatars and notifications, direct messaging, searching, which is really awesome. So our help board is working pretty well. Do you want to do the future one?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Dohi. Yes. So keeping a specific goal in our mind is that what we're trying to do is we're trying to achieve more users to get onboarded, whether that individuals or communities or organizations or pretty much anyone. And that's the goal, keeping in mind, as well as continuing our current engagement that we have and also giving them more benefits by maturing our platform. So we have a lot of things that we're working right now as our second phase. As Dohi already mentioned, we had a launch on December 5th. It was quite a bit success. We had a lot of features that we deployed. And now we're focusing on more items, more maturing the platform more thoroughly. So as you can see, we have a lot of things coming in January, February time period. We're kind of in progress right now to post internal dashboards for the post moderations and verified badges. This will help us accommodate some of the trust and more like more trust, more engagement to the platform by looking at those different different tags of whether they're verified users. So we're building that potential relationship with our users. Also, we're kind of working in parallel to give more advancements to the organization. So let's say if they have use cases where they want to onboard their resources, or they want to manage their resources, or they want to manage their services within their offerings. We will be able to kind of accommodate that, but that's why we're kind of creating like a pre-steps for them. So giving them more org management ability. So we're creating that as well. We're also kind of focusing on having the content more importance based, so urgency tags, right? We want to make sure a specific need needs more urgent attention, then that it can be displayed correctly, as well as some of the nice to have stuff, which is like nearest health facilities, and also we're doing major like the major requirements work for minting badges. And then as you can see, we have chatbots. We have some of the other maturity level of the feeds, post, deactivate, activate, save, draft, a lot of the management tools. And also we're kind of exploring towards this creator economy, right? So we have monetization and marketplace as well. So any aspiring product managers who are interested to kind of help us build these features from ground up to all the way to the launch, we'll be definitely looking forward to speak to you guys, and feel free to reach out to us, and we can help you direct that way. So thank you.
Thank you, Drew. Yeah, so as we can all say, there's a lot going on within the product team and a lot building, which we've seen happens, in the last couple of months. So it's exciting to see where it's going to be in not so long a time. And also around the progress that's going, you might remember if you're in the last all hands meeting, we've established these organization or community goals, which kind of speak to the overall direction or the overall goals that the community is working towards, and how that fits in with all the different teams and work being done. So again, those are the same. And to talk about the progress that's made about them, we'll go into each individually. So first we have build an active community of humans using the platform. We have raising awareness of the brand, now the Doing Good brand, to potential investors, partners, volunteers, and the public at large. Third, we want to build a fully engaged volunteer base that will stay for the long run, and also raise funds to bring Doing Good to the next level. So specifically, we worked on if you want to go to the next slide. So specifically towards the first goal of building an active community of humans using the platform, closely with the BI team and the product team, we've been looking at what reporting we can put together and some goals that we can set. So we've had a lot of good meetings over the last month to make progress on that. Thanks, Drew, Dohi, of course, and Federica, and many others on the team. But we've set a couple goals for the end of January, where we want signups to reach 250, which is a 10% monthly increase over December. We want posts on the platform to jump to 120, that's 10% from last month. Engagements up to 1,000. Previously 840 was the high. And kind of the next step with this, we'll be working with the marketing team as well to define what can be done to also work towards this goal. If we go to the next one here, we have the raise awareness of the Doing Good brand. So much of the first steps on this are with the marketing team and the social media team specifically, which has really organized much in the last couple of weeks. So continuing to improve the processes and focusing on engaging with other accounts, as well, again, with business intelligence, building the reporting that helps us look at this, and also major at the events team. The summit, for example, and future events coming will do worlds towards this main goal of raising awareness of the brand. So the specific goals we set were for raising awareness is having more followers or likes on our main accounts, so that more people are seeing what the team is putting together. So we have fairly considerable jumps that we're going to target for each of our social media accounts. This is the chance. We'll take a breather, and I think the social media team is on here now with links to these accounts. And we also have a fun little video that speaks to the community and what happened in the earlier meeting.
Oh my God.
There's you, Andrea.
Jim, and he's like
Sounds good.
60 and he just fell
Yes,
off
sir.
the roof.
But this is
Shame on you.
this is an example of a previous meeting when there's somebody accidentally fell off a ladder in the background of one of the volunteers' calls. So that's an example of the craziness, I suppose, that can happen in this remote team. But I think, did we get a chance to share the links to the accounts? We do ask if you have a second to follow the accounts. I'm not sure if anybody's got that handy. Please let me know. I can't see the chat. Get in there. We're in the presentation.
I just shared it.
All right, perfect.
Thank you. Yes, if you got a sec and haven't already to follow the accounts, that helps enormously. Ale, you want to speak to this goal?
Sure. Thanks, Andrew. And yeah, thank you, Rita. There's all the social media there. Please follow us. We are very cool. Okay, so the goal number 3 is to build a fully engaged volunteer base. And the progress we've made is that we've had more than 1,600 volunteers join, of which more or less 200 are currently regularly active and 30 are super active. I think the number is going up, so that's good. Which has made us analyze also the onboarding process that we are revisiting to make it more efficient and more cool. And we have refined our vision and organizational values, like you saw. Brigitte has been leading that, so it's been amazing. Also improving the stand-up meetings and the simplified Amor submission that previously had some links to add, but now it's super easy. It takes like 2 minutes to complete, so it's very nice. And we have our January goals, that is to have 100 Amor submissions in a week. The previous high was 79. So we encourage all of you to submit it. More also to so everybody can know that you are contributing. So that's the way, because we are not in the same place. I mean, yes, we are in the world, but we are not in the same place physically. So this is the way to know that you are here. And also to have 60 new joiners, because we had 52 in December. So we want to improve that number.
Thank you, Ale. And the 4th goal is to raise funds to bring doing good to the next level. Progress on that is we have the pitch deck complete. Maybe that should have quotation marks. It's at a stage where we're using it, but we're continuing to try to refine and gain feedback and improve it as we go. But it's to the stage that we need to at least start continuing to have conversations. We also were able to complete the financial projections for software costs of what we're using. And then also a lot of work, thanks, within the finance team of researching revenue models of similar platforms, and this piece specifically on the marketplace to understand how to make our own projections. So need to take that a step forward, but some progress made there. And some goals that kind of putting towards this goal are to approach our contacts to get feedback, begin formally pitching to fundraise, and then reach the desired funding target that we have by the end of February. So January's got its kind of first 2 steps there of getting feedback, reaching out, begin to formally pitch, so that by the end of this February, in the next all hands meeting, we'll be talking about reaching that target. And that's the goals, but more specifically, there's obviously way more going on besides just that happened specifically for the goals targeted there. We'll go through team updates. Just to set the stage too, all of this information is going to be available after, so don't feel like you need to catch any notes on the slide, and all of us presenting are going to keep it short and sweet. But yeah, that's just the context going into it. So for the strategy team, 2 big projects going on, I kind of already mentioned, are working towards the fundraising and the Amor program engagement. And you can reach out to me to get involved. We have meetings every Tuesday and Thursday, and we have a Slack channel, which accidentally is private. So you have to let me know and I'll make sure to add you to the channel, and everybody is more than welcome to join us in the strategy team meetings. Jager, you want to talk partnerships?
Yeah, one of the latest updates tonight, Zendesk upgraded our account to enterprise free trial till July of this year. Also, one of the recent updates, 3 mutual aid groups already agreed to become our community partners. One of them, LA Helping Hands, they already are on our About Us page. You can go check them out. And in December, we launched on Product Hunt, and we received more than 130 upvotes. And we really need more help in reaching out to those groups that are MAGs, nonprofit organizations, or non-government organizations, and as well a lot of help needed of posting our product on similar platforms like Product Hunt. So if you want to help, please reach out to me or to Andrew, and we can help you to get started. Thank you.
Drew. Or Dolly.
Drew left.
Drew might have.
Yeah, I think he's left. I can go through this. The product team, as we talked through just now, we have a lot of features coming up. So we need a lot of help. If anybody's interested in any of the features that Drew mentioned previously, please reach out. There may be Slack channels that already exist, so you can also search for the particular Slack channels. But if not, yeah, just reach out to us. We do have meetings on Wednesdays and on Saturdays. So
Thank you. I think Rajbir, is Rajbir here?
Yeah, hi everyone. Hello.
Hello.
From product engineering team, from the web ops and DevOps, I have the updates. So we already, as on January 6th, the major features which are already working perfectly in the production are private messages and notifications, and team is very actively working on the post moderation and verifying the users using the verif badges. So this team is currently working on it, and most probably we are going to push them to production in this month only. So they will be available in the production. And then we are the 2 major things which the engineering team is currently working, and I should say focusing, is on the rate limiting feature and the security measures to avoid the DDoS attacks. And the technologies which we are considering is either using AWS or Cloudflare. And the team is actually currently doing comparison between both of them and the availability. So we will be finalizing with one of them, and we're going ahead to implement these both, either one of them in our application, in our portal. And to get involved, we have channels, engineering channel, we have #F_ all the feature name. You just mentioned #F_ feature name, and you will get a Slack channel for that. And you can directly connect to the members who are currently working, like the project manager, design team, QAs, or everyone. So that will be more one-to-one discussions if you want it. And then we have, other than that, we have in the Notion, we have valuable resources section, and there is a product backlog section where we have the list of all the features which we are currently working and which are in the backlog, which we are looking to work on. And we need a lot of help from the dev side for the development. So all the developers who are on this call, so please volunteer, and we want a very active help to build our new features which are coming, so that we can push more features than just 2 or 4 features in this portal. So come ahead, and I think I should just start actively contributing to the dev part. So that's it from my side, I think. Thanks.
Thank you.
This is Dohi.
Dohi, yeah. And I don't think we have anyone from the chat bot, but those are the updates from last time.
yeah, so as our main goal being building an active community and being able to reach out to more people, we are in parallel to building out all these cool features, we are also trying to build out on different platforms, which include the chatbot, the native apps for both Android and iOS. And so these are our current progresses for each of the teams. If you are interested in joining our teams, I'm not sure who the main person for chatbot is right now, but for Android, Tejas is the main guy. Please reach out to him. He says he needs more Android Kotlin developers, and if you're interested in iOS, please reach out to me. We need more Swift developers that can work in persistence with core data. And we've actually made a lot of progress in the last, I'd say, 2 months for the native apps. So hopefully we'll be able to release something soon.
Awesome.
Is this Agnieszka?
Agnieszka or Rajbir, maybe?
Agnieszka or Rajbir?
Hi, Nishka, you there?
Yes, I'm here. For automation, to our existing stack, we added a Postman collection. It's more for troubleshooting, for manual testing, and to help a mobile team to create application. We still need help with performance testing. I'm looking for somebody who is experienced with performance testing. In progress, we are going to add a step on GitHub action to run a Cypress test, and it's Tony who's working on this. And we need to mock out backend component for local development. If we want to add if we want to add the tests for logged in user. Thank you. It's all for automation, and maybe now automation team work mostly on backend tests.
Thank you so much, Agnieszka. And then from the Web3 team, I don't know if Lamont is here. I think that Diego mentioned that he's not going to be able to join. But essentially, we're going to be working with the Bounty Network in order to create bounties and then give out the badges. Then the storage of all those badges are going to be done using IPFS, which is called Interplanetary File System, which is a decentralized way of storing data. We're going to also do research on the different DAO frameworks because we're going to offer to communities the possibility of launching their own digital autonomous organization, or as many people call it, decentralized autonomous organizations. And also we're going to enable sending out the recognition badges within our own platform. To get involved, please reach out to Lamont. We're gonna have also, we're having someone that is joining us that is going to lead the marketplace development and also the Web3 side. And yeah, her name is Kashmir, and she's, I think probably she's here in the meeting. And yeah, we also need more help with blockchain developers, researchers, and obviously front-end and Web3 engineers.
Alex. Hi guys, this is Alex. So basically, what I observed, so I joined FP in about November, and what I observed is that like data is very disparate across FP, and there's no like actual data model inside any of the separate departments. And the problem with that is that you can't really use data is being used only inside and only with the people who make it, and like anyone else who tries to access it, they can't do it because there's no like model that can connect them. And like the long-term plan of the data warehouse operations project is to create a master DB across doing good with different tables for each department according to their needs. Like these tables will be able to relate to each other and provide a solid base for highly granular analytics, machine learning, and data intake automations, and also all the monetization implementation that Manu and Andrew are building up. To accomplish this, we need like every data entry has to be assigned a unique identifier, aka a key. This key will be called doing good ID, and is an 8-character alphanumeric element. I'll be making a Notion page with all this so that everyone can see this and get more details about this. Every department will need to get a data format. We'll need to like set a data format template inside that they will adhere to internally from now on. And I will share a data format template made by Andrea. And all available data needs to be clean, trimmed, and merged until it satisfies that set data format template. I'm looking for help right now with everyone willing and able to discuss the current data formats that they're using across their respective departments, their current data entry points and their formats, and what kind of data they predict they will need in the future and from what source. And last but not least, I want to thank Andrea because for the many hours that she spent talking to me about all this, so that I can understand that this issue is widespread across FP. And also the data format template is hers. And I'll let her talk more about this. Over to you, Andrea.
Yeah, so as Alex was just saying, basically one of the main things that we're doing now for internal tooling is getting all of our data organized so that we can eventually move internal tooling into our platform. I don't know how long this is going to take, but it's going to be a bit of a process because we have multiple Google Sheets, we have different tools that we're using, all of which are organizing things differently. And so far, the biggest thing that we're doing is making sure that we at least have them backed up. So at least in the last month, what we've done is we've taken Slack and we started pulling the APIs. We haven't fully formulated how we're going to store this. So this is part of the dashboard being done is like the last 20% is just making sure that we understand how each team needs to use all of the data that we have so that we can store everything. And then, you know, files, all the media, we've got pCloud and all these things, making sure that we can find things easily because we really are, we really have a lot of things going on. Gitbot is the other one that we actually started pulling, I think, last week successfully. We need to put it into at least one Google Sheet first so that, you know, people in HR can use it. And then after that, we'll put it into the main dashboard as well. Other than that, like the other things we have to do is more automation stuff. As you know, our recruitment site for HR is 100% automated. We want to get onboarding a little bit more automated. Like we're doing too many manual tasks right now, and it's really hard when we have so many new joiners every week. And then, you know, from there, our marketing, our outreach partnerships, whatever we can do to make everybody's lives easier. So to get all of this done, we do need people who have some experience with automations, you know, trying to figure out the best way to sort out the database so we can query things, so that we can trigger things and make it flow really nicely. And then obviously people who work with Python, because we have a lot of APIs that we're working with. Yeah, I think that's all I've got.
Thank you. I don't think Feta is here, but if anybody else from the data team wants to share updates, otherwise,
maybe Anna is here.
I can't see the attendees.
I cannot see the attendees either.
Anna left.
All right, then I guess I can take this one.
Yeah.
So from the business intelligence team, as you know, Alex just mentioned a few minutes ago that we need to clean and standardize databases. This is also happening with the BI team. Mm-hmm. We need to prepare data for all the different dashboards that we're going to have across the different departments. Also, we need to be able to extract data from different data sources, like, you know, Facebook, Instagram, and all of these different tools that we use internally, as well as the Slack, Geekbot, and all of that. We need to also implement AppSheet for automating the dashboard generation, and that's the ideal. Before we thought that we were going to do it on Excel. Now it seems that we're going to use AppSheet, and we need help. We need more coordinators in the business intelligence team. Currently, Federica has been the one driving it together with Anna, and Federica just got a job, and she's actually looking for someone that can help her coordinate. Yeah. We need also data engineers. So if you're one of those, please reach out. And yeah, basically the other one is that we need to build the data pipelines and data assurance. So yeah, if you want to be part of the team, just go to the data science channel or the business intelligence channel, and reach out to Federica or to me or to anyone within the coordinators team.
Okay, for the data collection, or in other words, external data, this is basically any data related to mutual aid groups. So any information about, you know, non-for-profit or mutual aid groups that we generally use to invite these groups to the platform or to the summits or get them engaged with what we have. This is what this department is doing. Now, as Alexandru mentioned, we currently have a lot of databases fragmented in a couple of places too. So far, the work has been handled with me and Sanchit, where we create, tickets for volunteers to clean the data and make sure they're validated, up to date. But now we're gonna be taking a separate approach where we wanna build a new structure and then onboard volunteers to help with, cleaning and validation and eventually migration. So in essence, it's a 4-step process. We're currently working on merging all the mutual aid groups databases into one. And then that's when volunteers would step in for checking for duplication and assigning the unique IDs. It's initially was FPID and now it's DGID. The unique IDs will be assigned by the coordinators, and then doing some cleaning and validation, and then eventually migrating to a better database tool. These efforts are currently being led by Giuliano Arlo and Fahima Manzai, and Alexandro is also the main point of contact for anything related to data structure in general. So for now, stay tuned. Tickets will be added soon on Notion for any help related to data. And we'll jump on the next slide for translations. Currently, we have 21 languages on the live website, which is super awesome. 5 additional languages will be added on next release. So that makes it 26. Join the Slack channel translations, or reach out to me if you want to contribute. I just want to show you how far we've gone now when it comes to all the languages. As you can see, there's 42 languages now, either complete or in progress. So if you can push a language to 100 or add a new one, please get in touch with me. And that's it.
Okay, for design, we have like a different type of design: product design, design operations, and graphic design. So for product design, I don't know if someone wants to talk about product design specifically, or should I go?
Yeah, so we're going to be needing a lot of help for the product design. As you know, we're creating this new marketplace and this meta platform, and we need to interconnect all of these pieces. And yeah, we need someone that can help us lead that. Until now, everything has been kind of like separated, and now we need to unite that vision into a product that is easy, accessible for anyone. And yeah, and the design ops, I guess, you want to take that? Carol?
Yeah, so we're rebuilding our design system in Playbook and component library. It is a big project and it has many different parts, including resources to make designing more efficient and guidelines for collaboration between ourselves and other teams. So we saw like Manu was saying, we saw the necessity to align all the design things because we need the same data, we need the same strategy sometimes, and so we can support each other. And there is graphic design, that is the one that I'm leading with Sherry too, and this is we're in an ongoing progress on the Amor presentation and video. Also, we're close to presenting the Fighter Peter videos. This is a project that has been here for a while. It's a very creative project that we're working on. It's an animation. So we have our mascot Peter, and he is going to help us with our strategy somehow, and also with our internal strategy too, and communications. So if you want to get involved with product design, reach out Kami and Kaylee Shang, and graphic design will be me or Sherry Wong. So we need a lot of help with this because right now there's not a lot of committed people, like not committed, like stable. I don't know how to say. So yeah, so we're a few, and we really appreciate to have more help. And I think that's pretty much it from design.
Okay.
Okay, so for HR, we have two key updates. The first one is, well, first is that we are aligned with the goal, build a fully engaged volunteer base that will stay with doing good for the long run. So we are working in two things, in the HR metrics and in engagement, because we cannot achieve this if we don't measure things. So the starting points is HR analytics for onboarding. We said that because we already have some data there, we can start there. And the second one is the volunteer engagement. And we've been working together with internal communications, the newsletter, and the strategy team to promote Amor and our culture. And you'll see in the next slide, like some graphics about it that we've tried to do. And so to get involved in the HR team, or if you need anything on HR, please reach out to the team, the current volunteers that are like all the time there. Their names are there. The channels that we have are HR and HR community engagement. And we have our meetings every Tuesday at 7 p.m. GMT, 8 p.m. CET, 2 p.m. EST. I think I got it right this time. That is after the stand-up. And we need help all the time. And the two main help that we need is an HR partner role. So we need people who are interested in like HR, but also knowing the different teams, so they can be like that connection between them. And we need a data analytics master that can help us, because all in HR, we know a lot of HR, we know a little about data. So if you want to jump in this, please help us. And yes, and the next slide is going to show the graphics. So if you can pass it. So we had the new Sparks. We've had 123 since we started using HR Cloud, which was in the 11th of November. So in November, we had 68 new Sparks, in December 52, and right now we have 3, but the year just started, so don't worry, we'll have more. And then we took a satisfaction survey to the new onboarders, and we found out that we have, they say that onboarding is like excellent 43%, very good 43%, and good 14. So we're not satisfied with this, we wanna make it amazing. So that's why our actions are gonna revisit onboarding, that we're already on that. We want to promote our culture since day one, so you're gonna be seeing some videos and more of Peter. And finally, we need analysis and reporting. That's going to happen once we have someone who can help us with that. I think that's it.
Hi, everyone. So here are some announcements and updates about marketing, PR, social media, and video. We had our press release about the launch of the platform that went out on the 4th of December, and it was published in dozens of sites. There was an email media campaign that resulted in 2 articles published in the Irish Tech News and Health Healthcare Global. We're setting up KPIs for the social media to have goals and try to achieve them by the end of each month. And we're recently met with a product and design team to draft some visuals and videos to promote our platform and explain users how to use it, their benefits. And we have blogs that are up and running, and we're working to form a stronger link between blogs and social media channels. We need help with marketing coordination, which at the end is way more than what we have been focusing on, which has been social media. It's a lot of activities with a goal of educating, promoting, and not just selling. It's a field to raise awareness of many things that people need to hear about, and make the effort of all the teams go out and live to the people. So marketing is a really important field to have. So if you want to help us with video production, coordination, content creation, or engagement on social media, whether that is commenting, replying, sharing with people that follow us, please reach out to Andrea, Niha, myself, or Nicole. We meet Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays at 7:30 Central European Time, 1:30 p.m. EST time, and join the marketing channels. It's a very fun field and team that works with every department, so feel free to jump in if you just want to learn.
Yeah, sorry, thank you, Rita. I just wanted to add also that we need also help with PR. So I've been coordinating PR, but it's not really my forte, but I'm doing my best with the team. Actually, I'm not alone, obviously. But I mean, if anybody here is, has more experience with PR, please contact me, and I'd be so happy to have you on the team.
Thank you.
Oh, hi, everyone. I want to say thank you. First of all, thank you everyone who participated and made Stronger Together Summit happen, like on the last 4th of December. It was a very good, successful event. We have 256 attendees to the event, and I think it was great. And we have been rated 8.2 out of 10, which is amazing, and 8 out of 10 will return to our events, which is very good. The favorite topics that were culture, mental health, and also mindfulness sessions. And after our surveys that we reach out to the delegates, we have other topics that people would like to hear about, which are economic trends, mental health, and culture and education. We are currently working on our planning of the events of 2021. So we need some help on events social media responsible. So we need someone to help us on that area, because we noticed that we didn't have, I know the marketing team was struggling because we have lots of things going on at the same time. So we will need someone to help us directly with social media for our event to promote and engagement. We will also need some help with the sponsorship. And for future events, we're trying to get some brainstorms right now to plan the events for 2021. We also have a new events team page, which will be transition from this week to next week. So we will all use it. And it will be very easy to find all the information related to the events, and everything will be gathered there. So for even newcomers, will be like a welcome to the team page. So they will see like an introduction to the team, the platform that we use, which is Hopin, and all little information, tricks and Notion, Slack channels, and so on. We also, like, if you want to reach out to us, just please join us onto the channel and conference, and also reach out to me or Emmanuel or any team members on the channel. And our meetings normally are on Thursdays at 7 p.m. GMT time, 8 p.m. CET, and 2 p.m. EST. So if anybody has any questions, please ask and reach out to us.
Internal comms. So Well, we have been sending a newsletter for the past few months, a weekly newsletter. So you should all have received it in your email. If you haven't, please reach out to Brooke or Andrea, and they can help you to make sure that you receive the news on a weekly basis. I mean, actually, Brooke, I don't know if you want to jump in for the newsletter, feel free to do that. So in terms of the culture, we talked about the values. So we've been working with Andy, Manu, Wendy, Yegor, Ale to define really the culture. What does it mean to work at Doing Good? And we're developing a plan really in light. I shouldn't say rebranding. I should have written like renaming, and then we're writing various announcements as needed here. So if you want to get in touch, you know, for the newsletter, you can. There is a newsletter channel that you can join, and you can reach out to Brooke and Andrea for any issues here or questions. And for anything else regarding internal comms, you can reach out to me or to Ale. We're really partnering on this. And there is no channel specifically, I don't think, for internal comms. But yeah, because it's spread out, you know, across multiple areas. So the help needed, well, so some of the things that we've done actually in the newsletter is to emphasize whenever there was some posts, external social media posts, you know, we want everybody to share them if they can, if they want, if they're willing. So like was said before, make sure that you join our social media channels and then, you know, post, tag other people, comment, like, etc., so that we can increase our followership. So that's about it.
Brooke, do you want to say something?
Sure. Just going back to the newsletter quickly, if anyone has any ideas for the newsletter, we usually post in the newsletter channel every Monday morning, fielding any content ideas. If you do have any ideas, but you're not very confident about writing or pulling things together, please feel free to reach out. I can help facilitate that with you. We're looking to hear from all departments, so don't be shy. Definitely share team updates or anything that you're working on.
Thank you. I can talk about finance a bit here. We covered it a bit on the organization goal to be prepared to raise funds. But the main thing we're working on is the financial model, and a lot of help on research has gone into that the last month. So much appreciation to the team there. The help we need going forward is continuing to actually build the financial model, and it's more of a startup financial model than what traditional kind of finance backgrounds usually see. So if anybody has interest in helping us there, we'll be doing that, especially more in the next coming weeks. And also unit economics analysis is helpful for potentially our pitch deck as well, to understand how investors might look at what the platform would work with. So you can reach out to me. We have our Slack channel and our weekly meetings on Saturday right now. Yeah, with that, we got through all the team updates. I was even floored by some of the things going on there. It's a lot of progress, so a lot to take in, but this is a time if anybody has any questions about anything we've talked about, going back to the mission, vision, what Doing Good is going to be, questions about the More program, questions about any of the team updates. This is the fun interactive part if anybody wants to kick it off. Don't be shy.
So I had two questions. This is Devin, by the way. Good to meet you all. Number one, hi. Are we going to share this recording sometime in a?
Totally. Everything that we do within FightPandemics is recorded and shared on YouTube.
Awesome, thank you. The second question, I obviously congratulations on renaming this. Actually, it makes more positive impact and gives positive connotation. So I think I like that. Definitely, it will bring more partnerships across the board. And I'll be able to feel free, and I'll be able to build some bridges with you guys as well. I'll try to partner with some corporations, here in the Valley.
Amazing. Would be a huge help. Yeah. I think one thing
The question I had is when we talk about renaming, Ashley, are we going to rename all the URLs and
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And one thing I realized I might not have mentioned in that conversation of renaming, but another reason that came up, and another thing we think it might unlock a lot of potential, is in these conversations we've had with mutual aid groups or potential partners, a lot of them worry about, or even maybe won't even respond to the initial message because the name sounds like maybe we're just going to be about the pandemic, and we don't even get that first step. So we think expanding will open up a lot more opportunity when the name also exposes or
explains what is it that we're trying to do.
Exactly.
Which is doing good for humanity.
Exactly, bigger than the pandemic.
All right, and obviously, most importantly, it gives a brand a positive spin, and that positive spin will automatically generate the interest. Right?
Yeah, you're totally right. Another thing that we have realized is that Fight Pandemics, it has like 2 negative words, Fight Pandemics, and that becomes positive. But we want, rather than having negative, we want to have positive thing.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, definitely. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Great to have you. Thank you.
Any other questions? Please don't be shy. Oh, I see Kashmir here.
Hello.
I have a question. When it comes to the shift on the platform, are we looking to build relationships now when we're launching the new platform to kind of pre-populate relationships and creators to get things started? So when we try to launch and get others on board, we have people already building and working on the platform itself?
Yeah, I'm so glad that you asked that. And actually, I think that we made a mistake by not adding that specific part.
We had a slide specifically about that, and we decided not to put it in.
So, yeah, we have a couple of creators that have already said that they're super interested in joining us and be part of this new platform. We got the Baha Man, the guys who sing "Who Let the Dogs Out," and his manager and their manager. Their manager is actually joining us. He's going to be part of the team as well. He's going to help us build relationship with other media outlets, and he has connections with Universal and also with Sony Music and Warner. And yeah, apparently they're very, very big potential. There are a couple of guys that might be interested in joining the platform and providing some of the proceeds to some organizations that they care about. So yeah, definitely that's something that we're going to be doing. We're going to accelerate more that business development side once we know that we have a product for the marketplace, and that's kind of like the idea until now.
Yeah, cool. I don't know if there's a bit of the idea of kind of exclusive access for creators at the beginning too.
Yeah, that's also something that I forgot to mention. So initially, we're gonna curate the artists that we're going to onboard within the platform. Is because we have studied a couple of other platforms that are facilitating tools for different creators, and we have identified that the ones that have the biggest value are those that are curating the different artists. So we want to also start with that, curating artists, and then probably open up the gates to everyone.
Yeah, I think the other important thing to add into that is we're still building the community on the help board side. Is that we still are talking with mutual aid groups and building community partnerships and still developing the platform or developing the community through the help board side in the meantime. But we see that once the creator marketplace is there, that's the real explosion point of bringing lots of people into the platform. And once social organizations, mutual aid groups, these communities, see the inflow of people that come from this adjacent piece of the platform, that's where the real explosion can come in usage of the platform. But we still want to learn and improve the platform, improve the help board as we're building that marketplace and that space for the creators.
Yeah, and another thing to mention is that, as you know, creators, they already have an audience. So if we bring creators, they will bring their audience, which they will onboard in the platform, and this will generate a growth wheel, because then organizations are going to join because they would like to receive some of the proceeds from those creators as well. So that generates a growth loop, and that's kind of like the idea.
Cool.
Thank you, Brooke, for the question. Really good one. Any other question, concern, suggestion?
So one question I had, obviously, it's a very well organized structure and system in place now. It's fantastic to see that. Did we talk about compliance, or I know there was some governance or guidelines provided for sure. Did we talk about any compliance or any kind of compliance legal aspect of the organization?
Yeah, I can take that one. So currently we are registered in Delaware as a C Corp, and the idea is to basically expand, raise funds first for the C Corp, and then transform that into a foundation, which might be registered in Switzerland or in some, let's say, jurisdiction that might help us, have a global presence, and then release a governance model through that foundation.
Yeah, and add that we do have legal support on the team that has helped us from the get-go on GDPR compliance, on the volunteer agreement, and the pieces as we need them. But that is an area that we're looking for more help in. If there are connections of people that would join the legal team and help us, always ensure that we're compliant, because that's obviously top priority. And we want an internal team that is able to make sure that we're always with our ducks in a row there. So yeah, we do have help currently that's helping us on that. Good question.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other question, concern? Don't be shy. Feel free to ask any question. There's no dumb question. No. All right. Then if you don't have any other question, let's do a quick recap.
I think Ali might talk to this bit.
Ali.
Oh yeah, that's okay. It was just a quick thing. Shout out to Rita, because that was her idea. So we send a type form for stand-up feedback, but we also added so people could say, volunteers could say their reflections or what they learned from 2020. So we did a word cloud about it, and like the words that came more were like patience, plan, power of community, it's never too late to learn new things, and that we are stronger together. I love that one. There was a lot of people who responded that. So just wanted to share it because this is it's from you guys, like you responded it. So this shows a little bit of how our unique community works.
Thank you, Ali.
All right, and to recap, well, first of all, I want to say thank you all that have participated until now. We have created a social platform that is open source, that is working with zero budget, and with more than 1,600 people from all over the world that have contributed at least 10 hours. And until now, we have received over 60,000 hours. We have as well received over $500,000 worth of software. We are currently the organization that received the most amount of donations within the Pambala League. And yeah, those are amazing progress. We have also launched our summit. And we are going to continue doing more and more events in the upcoming months. And yeah, the second thing is that.
Well, just to reiterate the idea of the renaming to doing good, and this idea that it's not a change of path, it's an expansion of the trajectory that we've been on, and it enables a bigger scope of what we were doing than before. We know, like, once we started talking about the marketplace, sometimes it wasn't fully explained. So hopefully today we were able to explain it a little bit better and how it still fits into this path that we're on, just expanded, a bigger vision, a bigger mission that we've seen capable through the last 9 months that we've been working together, and giving us that sustainable path forward to a bigger platform.
Yeah, and another thing that is important to mention is that we are creating tools for communities and for creators. We want to empower everyone that is doing good for the world. And yeah, that's why we are calling ourselves Doing Good now. And another thing that we want to reiterate is that Amor Way, our values, the duocracy, we want everyone to carry the flag and, lead all the different features or actions that we have within the team. Also to remind that we need to remain positive, because that's what make us come together and unite and achieve so many great things. And we want to also continue this way of collaborating. Even if we're going to raise money, we're gonna still have volunteers from all over the world. We're gonna try to have a core team and have this fluid organization still. So yeah, we really want to keep co-creating with everyone around the world. And remember that it's very, very important to always communicate. Just talk to everyone, ask questions, don't be shy. It's really, really important to also document everything that we do, all the progress. Why? Is because, as you know, we're distributed all over the world, and the only way that we can share all the knowledge is by documenting it. So we really encourage you to follow these values and to embrace them.
Awesome. And those are the 3 big things to remember. It's a lot, but that's the punchline. And just before you go, here we have a link to an option to just quickly submit any feedback on this meeting as it fits in with our values and how we work, always trying to get better and collaborate and try to make this meeting the best. So it's only the 3rd one. I think we've gotten better, but we're always trying to get better on how we do this meeting too. So share your feedback now, so we'll have it and we can act on it and make a better meeting next time too. So I think that got shared in the chat. And here we have Fight It Peter saying goodbye in all of our diverse languages. Fix the typo from last time. And here we are. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Turn on your cameras.
Should we turn on the cameras and make a screenshot?
I think so.
Yeah, that'll be lovely if everyone can turn the camera on. Let's take a screenshot. Yay!
Can you please stop sharing, Manu?
Lisa, Shiva, Melissa, Themis, Prashwal, Claudia. Who else?
Yes.
Please turn your cameras on. We want to see your beautiful face.
Almost have a full screen.
Alex, as well, we're missing you. There you go, more cameras on, yes. Melissa, camera on, yay.
I'm here.
All right. Are you ready? You're gonna take it, Diego?
Yeah, I always look a lot.
Yeah, I think he got a lot of
Awesome. Yes.
Very cool.
Amazing.
Perfect. Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
So great to work
Thank you
with
very much. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.
Gracias.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao.
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 Bye bye.
Success.
Recorded all the way to the end.
Éxito.
Bye bye.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, really good. Super